Explore your identity with Tayameaca. Hello and welcome to another episode of Explore Your Identity. Here we delve into conversations about different aspects of our identity, both positive and negative, that have shaped who we are. I'm your host, Tayameaca, and I am thrilled to have another amazing guest joining me here today. I just want to extend a heartfelt thank you to my guest, Chase Johnston-Lynch, for joining me here today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Chase.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Yeah, whatever.
Welcome, and thank you for allowing this conversation here today.
I appreciate it. I mean, I've been a fan, so I love it. And then the idea of it, looking into my identity, I'm wondering what road you take me down.
Oh, well, I'd like to start with a little bit about your background. Mm-hmm. Can you take me back to your childhood? Any particular instance you feel has shaped who you are today?
Well, I always thought it was interesting because, now we're more courageous to speak about our mental health and neurodiversity and stuff like that. And so, in being honest, this is what led to my creativity and identity. So, I could go, back to my childhood where, I was just kind of like that lonely kid watching TV, sitting in my underwear, eating a bowl of cereal, you know what I mean? But, and not very, very communicative, and only understanding now that it's like I had a form of self-mutism. I was in my own little world, but that was interesting. Well, maybe not at the time, but as I look back at it, it was interesting how it led to my imagination and creativity because it helped form me into becoming first a writer and then a filmmaker.
That's amazing. So Chase is a creative director at Big Condo Academy.
Yeah.
So he's a very creative individual.
Thank you.
And it's interesting to know, usually, creative people always have their own kind of way with things and how the mind works. And
exactly. We have our little ticks and quirks and stuff like that.
And it's always evident from a younger age, even though you can't connect one and two together.
Yeah, and it's only now, we're only all learning about it. It's like, you're using that left brain thinking and we were always taught, like, I'm, as an older generation, I'm from the 70s and stuff like that. So it was like the word autism was a dirty word, and it's kind of like that, you don't want to say like, your kid is autistic or something like that. So nobody ever really said that, they just said, he's weird, he's different, he's all right, leave him alone, and all that kind of stuff. But then nowadays we look at it as like it's like an element of superpowers.
It is a superpower.
Hey, well, I'm into comic books.
What was your family structure like?
Whoa, I come from a big family, but my mother had like 4 brothers and sisters and everything, and so her sister had 5 kids. She had 2 kids, so I just grew up with my brother, but we had different fathers. So, it's kind of like the usual Harlem story of the broken family. So grew up with the single mom kind of thing.
And was there a big gap between you and your brother?
5 years. It's amazing. I've always wanted to study numerology because the number 5 was always powerful. It's like, 5 cousins, we're 5 years apart. I have sisters from my father who, was a Rolling Stone. So we're all 5 years apart, So I actually have 3 to 4. I had to kind of keep counting. I have 3 or 4 sisters that are not from my mom. You see what I mean?
I like the number 7.
Really?
Hence 7 streets. Yeah, 7 is always,
There we go. There we go.
There's 7, but 9 as well. But I seem to connect more to 7.
Yeah. Well, hopefully somebody can always tell us what is the meaning behind 5, because it's a magic. It's a powerful number.
Wow. So going back to your childhood, you mentioned how, you were that quiet child.
Yeah.
And how did we end up with you going on this creative journey? Who discovered you? Did you discover yourself or? How did life happen?
So, usually, as that kind of like lonely and wanting kid, I'm all a big Kevin Williamson fan of like the Dawson Creek kind of shows. It was all about a girl. It always comes back to a girl who, liked my story writing. I used to write short stories and stuff like that. And she was always go, write me another story. And, so that kind of pulled it out of me. Like, it's like somebody sees me, and so I'll do it. And obviously I didn't get the girl. But then...
And what age was this?
This was like 17. But she inspired me to move towards my journey where I am as far as being a creative. So I was going to be an electrical engineer. Like, we need more of those, right?
I was going to be an electrical engineer once.
Really?
Yes.
Well, see, I went to like one of the top schools in New York, which was Brooklyn Tech. And so I was going to be a scientist, that kind of deal. So to have this kind of creative element pulled out of me, I figured, well, I'm going to change my destination. That's where I'm going to go. And, so when I went off to college, I started, making, soap operas and music videos and stuff. And then that's how, I eventually ended up in the film world,
Yeah, so I had my auntie, who is my dad's sister. And growing up, people used to say I look like her a lot.
All right.
And she's an electrical engineer.
Wow.
So that's what I wanted
Probably
to
making
be.
a lot of money, right?
Not really, because she lives in Zimbabwe. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, maybe if she was here, she'd be making a lot of money. But yeah, I wanted to be like her. And that's the first thing I went to study, electrical engineering.
Look at that. We have something in common. We never would have even known.
I know.
And stuff.
So you didn't answer my question.
I did?
What age would that have been when you started the writing? And
17.
I heard about the girl.
17.
17.
I was always writing as a kid. So I was always like, writing little stories. But I would say really when I hit around 17, that's when I started discovering Stephen King novels and horror stories and had an affinity for that. Maybe because of the horrors that were in my head, who knows? And I always loved, just writing weird little stories with twists and everything. And, it became about that. But, what I think is what is important about that period, the 17 was, and what I always wanted to explore about my identity is, like I said, I had like two fathers who weren't really there. So in my name kind of deal, which is actually James William, because I was James William III. I was born James William III. But then I was given my stepfather's last name. So I didn't really feel my identity was mine.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because so I felt really lost and alone a lot. So in that aspect, one night, this was kind of like my Batman story. So one night, I was about to go off to college, right? 17, right? And I was thinking, you know what? If I change my name, I'll change myself. I'll be a different person.
That's very interesting.
Right? Because I was so introverted, you see? I was like such a quiet, and I didn't like me, the quiet little and vulnerable me. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going to have to come up with a name for myself. What kind of name? And then on the television was the show called Falcon Crest.
Oh,
which
yes,
was
I remember that.
Oh, do you remember?
Yes,
okay, I don't have to explain it to you. Like Dallas or Dynasty for those who don't know. But there was a character named Chase. Now, remember, this is like late 79 or whatever. So Chase wasn't a popular name, So I thought like, what could I call myself? And then they kept calling this guy Chase. What could it be? And then so all of a sudden Chase came to my head. And then I was like, yeah, like chasing the dream or,
I like
being
that.
something.
I like the fact that you put meaning to it.
Yeah,
and that is quite empowering for yourself.
Exactly. So then I figured, well, when I got to college, I'm going to be Chase. I'm not going to be Jimmy. Right? Because I hated the Jimmy name. James, Jimmy, everybody calls you Jimmy, right? And, but the point is, what is it now? Like 40 some odd years later, I'm still carrying that name.
Wow.
You know, because it was a persona.
Yes.
That's why I said it was like my Batman moment.
Mm-hmm.
Chase is confident. He comes into the room and everybody likes him. And it's like, you know, he's funny. He's all different. While Jimmy's like,
Wow. I like,
you know what I mean?
I like the fact that if anyone is listening that has just stumbled upon this episode, last week we had a conversation about names.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting.
Well, no, exactly. But I mean, I just thought it was like the whole identity thing. That was where the crux is. Like when you wanted to know about my past or my origin, that was like what I wanted to make sure that I shared with you. Was just that, because I think people often, the power of a name is indeed powerful. It's like, that's why they do have naming ceremonies and everything else like that.
I remember having a conversation with you about when I was telling you that I wanted to do my DNA and, you know, get to know a bit about my my ancestry.
Right.
I remember you said you've had yours done.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, like what it is that what's interesting again about identity is like, when you look, most people, like especially being here in Liverpool, I've been here in Liverpool like for 22 years. And like most people just see me as that big Black American guy.
What brought you to Liverpool?
Oh, love on the rocks. But love doesn't last. Anyway, like the thing about it is that...
Is it an action or feeling? That's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole nother story. My point is that, so you look at me, you just see a Black person or a Black man or African American or whatever and stuff like that. But actually, my family's main history is Native American. So like as I said, I have like in a way like you know I have two maternal grandmothers, right, for my father's side and my mother's side. They are both Native American.
Okay.
Or Indigenous. So like my grandmother on my mother's side is Lakota Sioux, and my grandmother on my father's side is Blackfoot. And like when I did my family history to discover that, it was amazing because I had this kind of like big like epiphany. I was like in one of those like sweat lodges, you know, like in Canada and everything. And, you know, I had a psychic reading, and it was like, your maternal grandmothers are around you. Not only are they around you always, but they're around your son who was just born and stuff like that. And, you know, like babies, they always like play with the air kind of thing. Oh,
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk to the fairies and
You've seen it, right? Yeah. So then it was like, it made like sense. And it's like, it's because he's communicating with your grandmothers, you know? And it's from that moment on, that I decided to embrace my Indigenous background more than the color of my skin background. Do you see what I mean? And, you know, it was a powerful thing for me. And yeah, you know, I'm very proud of that. The Indigenous side of my family.
Oh, brilliant.
You know?
So has your son had the Ancestry done as well?
Yeah, but the thing about it is like, I'm not a big fan of Ancestry.com kind of thing. You know,
it's okay. You're allowed to say your truth.
No. But I mean, you know, basically, you can see it in his hair and his face and stuff. You know, he's definitely my kid, right? So he's from my family, so he has the native in him as well, and stuff. But you know, it'll come up scowls.
Yeah.
On that Ancestry.com, it's like, okay, you know, mom contributes.
Oh, cool. So what are you currently involved with? Actually, before we go to what you're currently involved with, you haven't mentioned anything about you working with Jay-Z or Wu-Tang Clan or Alicia Keys.
I know, because I talk too much. You know, because this is about identity. But that is also part of my identity too, is because when I came here, I used to make music videos, basically. I was a music video producer, director in the States and stuff. And so in the 90s, when we had the 90s hip-hop, I worked with a lot of different artists, and those are the names that have endured, but there have been so many
Others,
that I've been involved with. But personally, with Genius from the Wu-Tang Clan, I was his right-hand man, like his producer. Pretty much, I don't know, like basically, like people wanted him to make videos, and he's like, whatever. He would have me make the videos for him, and then he'll just sit in the Winnebago. Genius, they want to see you, and then he go like, all right. You know what I mean? He come out, put his head, in the camera, they go back in, but it was really cool. So I had a really lavish lifestyle back in the 90s.
So
but I'm poor now, so don't come to me for money.
Well, you can't be poor. You're rich in memories and experiences.
This is indeed true. I mean, it was a great time, but that became my identity here when I first came here was, that's the Wu-Tang guy. That's the Wu-Tang guy. I want the Wu-Tang guy to make my videos and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have Wu-Tang money. I love to make it, baby. You have no Wu-Tang money. You know what I mean? What do you think? Just magically fall out of the air, this music video of yours? So then I had to move into teaching because I rather inspire the next generation with all those stories about what it was to make, to make music videos, and that's what led me to the academy. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's interesting because that filmmaking journey kind of just carried.
Well, it has to change, doesn't it? I mean, that's what's great about being a creativity is the versatility. So you have to be able to adapt to the time and the environment of change. So it was really like I was making videos, I was doing community videos and stuff. Like I said, I've been here for like 20 years. I was teaching, but about 6 years ago, I was like, man. What could I do now? It's like I think I get bored, because my mind is always racing with ideas. So, so I just wanted to move into, like podcasting and doing all that kind of stuff because, it's just like, yeah, man, this is what they're doing in the States. Yeah. But they weren't doing it much here. So I figured, okay, well, let's do that and stuff like that, and then now everybody's doing it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's the point of being a trendsetter?
Well, you need to set the next trend then.
I know. Where would that be? Let's see.
Yeah, what is the next trend?
That's a good question. Well, CapCut, really. Everything's all about Insta Reels and super fast TikTok. That's the next trend. But I mean, I really like a good story. Yeah. I think we need to go back. Do you remember watching a good old film that had characters? Yeah. Of course you remember it, but you don't see it now. Everything's like
very fast. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is just pulled out of a cheese grinder. I don't know what a cheese grinder is, trust me.
Is there anything that you consider an achievement personally, professionally, whichever one?
I mean, like, I think my main achievement really is the Genius scenario because it was something totally unexpected. I mean, I was just really doing me. As I said, being a writer is a solitary kind of skill. And sometimes feels thankless, like nobody notices, nobody hears. And then, but then people were noticing me without me noticing that they were noticing me. So actually I got headhunted by him. Like he came looking for me. And I'm like, me? Why? What? And everything. But it led to a great period of my life of that, but I still had to do it in the shadows, which I'm kind of comfortable. I'm very comfortable in the shadows, you know what I mean? I don't like the spotlight that much, even though people think, yeah, sure, Chase. But I don't, Yeah. But yeah, that achievement of making those videos.
And a personal achievement.
Personal achievement, I don't have. Oh, well, yeah. Well, basically, I wrote a book about myself.
Amazing.
And everything.
How do you know about your book?
Yeah, well, you know what? I was saying, why didn't I bring the book with me? I could have had it on the table and everything.
Exactly.
Nobody. Know why? Because basically, can I say this? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Say it.
Well, as I said, I was like shy and vulnerable. I was a horny kid. So it's like, basically, I never got the girl though.
Okay.
So like, every time you get close, something happened and then she was gone. And like, and so the book is called And Then She's Gone. but it was about, and then she's gone.
Oh,
it's on Amazon.
It sounds like
check
like
it
a
out,
Stevie
right?
Wonder song.
No, so it's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble.
I will check it out. You can
get this book. But what happened is that like
can
it was
I get
about
a signed copy?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was about my college misadventures.
Okay.
Right. So I thought, this is related because they were so funny. Like all the things that happened to me, where I didn't get it. But like in that aspect, I just thought this was great. So I wrote this book. And then people know me, they like me, whatever, right? So I was like, hey, my book is coming out. So I had all these women go, oh, I'll get your book. I'll buy your book. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then my friend's mom got the book, right? She's like, oh, I'm so excited. And then she's like, what the hell is this? Because it starts off with like losing my virginity. Whoa. So it's like, what, come on, and everything. So then it's a salacious book.
No, I think
and people didn't expect that from me.
I think that's the best way to tell your truth in a book.
It is true because look, man, I wasn't like Casanova. We've read those stories. Why don't we just read the story about the unlucky guy?
Are you sure it's a good idea for me to read the book? Because I have so much respect for you, Chase.
I think if you want a good laugh, you should read the book. And Then She's Gone. It's on Amazon.
You do make me laugh, so I will read it.
It's just that those women weren't expecting it. That's what it was.
Yeah,
the ones who read it and thought, oh, I'm just going to read this nice story. But oh, so much happened to me. Anyway.
What's next?
Okay, so what's next is that like because I used to make films and everything like that, and I stopped to focus on teaching and education, as I said. Mm-hmm. One of my old people I used to work with, she ended up working like in London, like for Met Film and all that, and she came up to me and said, hey, listen, I remember the story you wrote, right? And I'm willing to help you get it made, as a film. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? Because I'm so busy helping everybody else. No one's ever actually said, hey, what could I do for you, Chase? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because you know how that is, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. But what can I do for you, Chase? What could you do for me? So basically, hopefully we've been working on the script, trying to polish up the third act. It's a little horror story in Liverpool, but it's about an autistic father and son as, heroes, like trying to solve a mystery.
Oh, that's great
and
news.
Everything. And so hopefully, we'll get started on it this year. And so that's what's next for me.
And
really.
How can people connect with your work and what you're doing?
Basically, like I said, Chase Johnston-Lynch in Google, just do it like that. But I'm all over the social medias, Big Condo Academy, we're always like doing stuff like with
young people. It's really
with young
good.
people as well as adults too. See, we work intergenerationally. Mm-hmm. You know what I said. What that is, we help adults like who are mature, like to discover their creativity.
Yeah.
So we run classes. So right now I'm doing a music video course.
Oh, nice.
At the Blackie, and then where teaching people how to write treatments and pitching.
No, I really
videos.
like you work with Gemma, don't you?
Oh yeah.
What I love about Gemma is how she's consistently supported the work of local fashion designers.
Oh,
and she continues
exactly.
to do it.
Oh, I mean, she's skyrocketing right now, and everything, and that's her company, Iconic, actually, But in that fashion is that in that fashion? Wow, how they say that? But yeah, no, we're just out there, just trying to survive in this world and do some good.
Amazing, doing good, right?
Why not?
What a better way to live life? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just be good, be kind. Yeah,
be good, be kind, be different.
I like to end with my 5 light-hearted
all right, let's go for it because I'm such a fashion maven that you can tell.
Okay, here we go. What's an unusual item Actually, I'll say accessory because I usually ask the ladies about their handbag. I didn't see you with a handbag.
Yeah.
So what's one unusual item that you always have on you?
Well, it's my my Illuminati, my medallion. Basically, I probably, should not like bathe or shower with it, but but it's very important to me because not only because of what the Illuminati stands for as far as thinking differently or outside the box. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so we're not going to go down that road. But
did I hear Illuminati?
Yeah.
Chase,
listen. Don't let them come for us.
Can you come back for another session and we can go deeper into that conversation?
Yeah, sure. My son is always trying to get me to out myself. But this was given to me by my brother. It was the last present he given to me, and everything. So it's very near and dear, and it's always on me.
Oh, wow!
It makes him always with me.
Okay. Yeah. That's a very interesting accessory.
Yeah,
and I'm curious to hear more about the Illuminati.
I'm always like when I'm in the club and people go, "Yeah, man, what's up with the Illuminati?" I don't know what you mean, bro.
You're wearing it on your chest. Come on now.
I know, but still, man, it's like don't be trying to take it from me, bro.
Right. So I guess that is an emotionally attached item as well, or do you have another one?
No, I mean, as an emotional attached item, that would be that. Yeah.
Okay.
For that reason, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything that you hate shopping for?
Okay. So as I was saying, I don't know if people could tell I just recently lost a lot of weight because I have pulmonary edema. Right, which is congenital heart failure. So it causes your body to fill up with fluid and everything. So when I thought I was just eating a lot, it wasn't. It's just like I had this unnecessary water inside. So when it's been drained out, I end up losing a lot of weight. So it was really difficult to shop for pants. Because basically I used to have a good old black butt, that kind of 99 juicy thing. Yeah, I could say it. But I put my pants on and they fall down because the butt's not big anymore. It's like a little white butt.
Chase, I'm trying to keep a straight face here. Come on now.
I'm being real. I always have to walk like this. But yeah, so I hate shopping for pants because I don't want to go into the dressing rooms and be like, yeah, all right, I'm not that kind of guy.
Is there any way that you could get the old ones taken in?
Well, I mean, I try to figure out, what is the size of that? And I'll just order that online. And then hopefully it'll fit when it comes in. Yeah. Most of the time it does.
Come into 7th Street and I'll take your measurements and I'll tell you what size you are.
There we go. Well, that was going to be what my question was to you, but, go ahead.
Yeah. Is there anything you like shopping for?
All right. Now, there we go. So as you can see, I love my Americanness, so, I always have my American style clothing, whether they be fleece or, as you see in the same jacket, I like FUBU, I like the name brands. So I love getting that, little colors of black and gold, that's my favorite colors in there.
Do you know what, for the Gen Zs and I generation
they don't know what FUBU is?
That don't know about the hip hop fashion.
Well, I'm wearing Timbs, but you can't see it under the chair.
The baby fat, the
fat
apple
baby,
bottom.
No, it's Fat Farm.
Fat Farm.
Fat.
Yeah, I used to wear baby fat.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. What's it called? Baby fat?
No, it's called Fat Farm.
No,
it is.
The women's version.
Okay.
Yeah, with Kimora Lee Simmons. Come on, someone tell me that I'm not making this up.
She's not making it up.
I did have the handbags and all other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we had apple bottoms with Nelly and that was
Nelly
a song.
And Gucci
and then we had
Dolce and Gabbana.
No. I'm talking about the hip hop ones. The hip hop one. Right. We had, I'm not going to say the other one because it's a bit controversial right now.
That's right, man. Let's name them all. We're not going to talk about the Sean Johns.
Did Did you have to say it?
I did. I used one of the names that would be named.
That was an error. That was an error.
I had a coat.
Yeah. So, okay. Last but not least, have you got any fashion-related question for me?
Well, so basically, being that I'm in the market for new clothes and always trying to judge, I mean, you probably heard of this thing online called Temu, and which looks really nice. It's like a clothing brand. But so for you, I mean, what would you like if I wanted to get myself, like a nice suit with a waistcoat and everything, and not just a simple like all black, I mean, like I'm going to a funeral or something like that, but something kind of jazzy. What would you recommend?
When you say kind of jazzy, what do you mean?
That kind of like funky. You have like a waistcoat under the three-piece with the waistcoat. That's
what? I would actually probably go to Cheshire Oaks. They've got a few men's shops there that you'd be able to try on some pieces. And what's good about it is that you can get the pants in a different size, the jacket, and if they don't have it, they can order it in for you.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go to Temu.
Oh, you wouldn't? Oh, you don't recommend Temu?
No.
Really?
No. Because if you're going to be buying something like that, you want something that's going to be classic, right? That you can wear, that will be timeless. And based on what you said, you're better off. I know you hate shopping, but you're better off
I have no style. So, I mean, I'm willing to take your advice on it because what I see on there is a lot of like weird like dragons and things. And I'm wondering, when is it too much? Do you know what I mean? I don't want the simple, but then I don't want the out there either. But so you're saying no, huh?
Yeah. Wow. Go to Cheshire Oaks and then just bring it to me to alter it and customize it and make it more fun for you. Yeah. I can do that for you. Yeah?
Yeah, you can do some bell sleeves.
I can do whatever you want. Make it more jazzy. Yeah?
Do you do men's fashion then? Because I know your stuff is a lot of ladies' fashion.
I can do men's fashion, but just think about a doctor or nurse. You might be like an adult nurse or a doctor that specializes in different things, but you kind of, you go for one thing and just, run with it. Otherwise, you'd be a jack of all trades and a master of none. So I try not to be that.
Yeah, that's true. Because I know I remember you did like a couple thing and everything, and you did like this kind of like Kento cloth mix and a thing. Yeah. So I gotta come check out 7th Street.
I can do men's stuff. It's just that I try and just stay in one lane, so I'm not swaying everywhere.
Cool.
But
always good to know a stylist.
Say that again.
It's always good to know a stylist.
Yeah. But I will do your alterations for your suit for you.
Ooh, nice one.
Awesome. We've reached the conclusion of this episode of Explore Your Identity.
That was so
I just want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our viewers and listeners. If you found value in this episode, please share it and comment, like, subscribe. There's a lot more identity episodes on our YouTube channel. We on Amazon, we on Apple, Spotify. So do interact with us. And until next time, keep exploring your identity.
Peace.
Awesome. Explore your identity with Tayameaca.